Hey there, it's Deb. I'm hanging out in my Maine gardens, actually the front porch of my Maine gardens with an array of houseplants behind me. And I want to share a tip with you, really a lesson that I learned. And it's one of those things that I just go, I can't even believe I didn't think of this before. It took me 5 years to figure this out. So I want to tell you what lesson I learned to save you from grief, the grief and agony that I suffered. It's a little dramatic, but here we go. My husband and David and I purchased this house 6 years ago. Brand new build, meaning no trees, no shrubs, no perennials, nothing. So over the course of the last 6 years, he and actually mostly I, because I'm obsessed with gardening, have put in all of the beds, all of the plants, all of the trees, all of the shrubs. And I love it. And I'm not done. And that's partly why I'm here to talk about that work and that love and that passion and commitment. Anyhow, what I didn't do was keep good track of what I did. And that really came to light for me this spring when I was trying to figure out how much mulch I needed to order for my many beds. And I was like, oh, was that 10 yards last year or 5? Maybe it was 7. Oh no, maybe it was 8. Okay, so I'm just getting too old to remember this stuff year after year. And it gets expensive. And you know how mulch is. If you garden, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the Goldilocks effect. You don't want to order too little and you don't want to order too much, because if you have too much, like, what am I going to do with all of this? And if you don't have enough, then you have to go get more or have more delivered. And mulch is like gold. It's expensive. So you want to try to figure out how much you need and get as close as possible. So I thought, you know what, maybe I should write this down this year. So I started a garden journal, which you could call it a garden log, but really for me it's become more of a garden diary. And I'm going to share my system with you, which really, system sounds like so high tech. Oh, this is low tech as you can go. And I like it that way. So I'm going to tell you what I do and what I'm keeping track of now and why I'm doing it. And hopefully it will help you. Or you're watching this and you're thinking, really, girl, you're just figuring this out? So either way. My mother gave me these little field notebooks. It was like a pack of 5 for Christmas. Thanks, Mom. And I just grabbed one. And I'll tell you, it's worked out really well because I love the size of this. I put it in my pocket. I can walk around my gardens with it, with my little pen, and jot things down. And part of what I'm keeping track of is certainly the mulch. So let me give you an example. I'll read you a little story. May 6th. The Flipper Garden wedding tree. Okay, so I've named all my gardens. I fertilized all the plants and I used 5 bags of mulch. Some of my gardens this year I used bags, some I had mulch delivered. It just depended on what was going on in my life at the time. May 7th, around front porch and sidewalk, gardens both sides, all the way to large hosta inside of house with hostas, stopped at gas vent. 12 bags of mulch. None of that means anything to you, but it means everything to me because I know exactly what areas I'm talking about. Anyway, May 8th. So May is when I did most of my mulching. I try to get most of it done by Memorial Day. But the other thing is I'm keeping track of what's happening in my beds and with my plants. May 21st, apples in full blossom. We have 5 apple trees. And I draw little pictures. I'm really a good artist, as you can tell. So apples in full blossom. And then for each apple, I jotted down, this one has only a few blossoms. This one has lots of blossoms. This one has none. This little tree had none. This had lots and this had lots. And that way next year I can not panic when one of the trees doesn't blossom, because I'll go, oh yeah, well that one blossomed last year. It's taken a year off. All sorts of things. Oh, hang on. Mother's Day. Where is that? Okay, and it's not just about the plants. It's also about, I'm just trying to find something. You can tell I prepared really well for this. Oh, the day I brought the house plants out to the front porch. That was Memorial Day. And, oh, here it is, Memorial Day. Robins have returned to the nest under the deck. Yes, second year in a row we had robins nesting under our back deck. And then June 27th, babies left the nest. I witnessed it. Whole nother story for another time. July 4th week, purple iris in bloom. Fertilized rose shrub. The other thing that's really helpful about this is about, especially during the busy growing season, late spring, early summer, I would just do a walkabout and take this, and once a week write down what was coming up, what was blooming, what was happening in the garden, so that next year I'm not looking at a shrub or a plant and having a panic attack because I'm thinking it's dead, nothing's happening. I can look at my trusty little diary and go, whoa, wait a minute. Last year at this time, it wasn't blooming either. It's gonna bloom 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. So I'm really loving this. And this is really gonna help me next year too when I have to order mulch. So the other thing I'm doing, keep track of what I'm doing, really low tech. Ziplocs are my friend. All the plant tags for any plants that I have purchased are in a bag. And what I started doing, again, I wish I had started this 5 years ago, is I'm writing the date when I put the plant in. I'm catching up because I didn't do this last year, and some of this is from last year. So I just wrote 2021 because I honestly can't remember the actual date I put that in. But now this year I learned that lesson, and any shrub, any perennial, I keep the tag and I write down the date it was planted. And then I have another bag for receipts, for mulch, and also for shrubs and trees, especially if you work with a nursery or you buy from a nursery that offers you a guarantee, and many do. So if your shrub or your tree fails, they will work with you to either refund or replace or whatever you, but you want to keep that receipt. So this is such an easy system. And then I just keep the 2 bags. I like to put the plant tags in one baggie too, because usually they're a little dirty and I don't have the energy to clean them all up. But put this together, and then right now I'm kind of keeping this near my garden stuff, or near my pocket. But at the end of the season, I'll just throw this in, and bam, 2022, it's a wrap. I'll file it, and then I can refer to it next year. Now that we're in August, it's kind of crazy. I'm starting to look around and think about, all right, I need to move that. I'm going to need to move that. That has not worked this year. That is working really well. But I'm thinking about, what do I want to transplant in the fall? What do I want to split? I've got some lilies I need to split and some hostas I need to split. So I'm starting to make those notes in here as well, just thinking ahead about what I want to finish up, what projects I want to finish up this season. Anyway, that's my little tip for helping you with your garden memory, because you think you're going to remember when you planted that tree, and trust me, you won't. You're not going to remember. 3, 4, 5 years from now, you'll be like, I don't even remember what year we planted that. But I'd love to hear from you. I'm sure that, I know some people have fancy spreadsheets, and there are probably apps for that too. So I would love to hear how you keep track of what's happening in your garden and what you're planting in your garden, so we can share that with others and come up with some ideas, because I'm sure there are better ways to do it than I'm doing it. So post a comment if you would, and please also, just a request to subscribe or like this YouTube channel, because I'm excited to bring you some more tips and more road trips, and just to build a community here. And like on Facebook as well, and share if you wish, no pressure. If you found this helpful, let me know. And if you didn't, that's fine. You can let me know that too, I can take it. So with that, I'm gonna go update my journal a little bit, take a little walkabout and write a few things down. And I look forward to seeing you again in my Maine garden. We'll hang out. have a great rest of your day, evening, week, whatever it may be. Thanks. Talk to you soon.